Spencer Lazara, MMA Interviews, and I am alongside Felice Herrig. If you are watching TUF 20, you will know that she is a star on the show. Great rating so far. It's going great, man. How is the buzz? You've always been kind of in the limelight, but has it been even more so now?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I'm used to the limelight, but now I'm surprised because after every episode, like, I'm always doing something controversial apparently on the show, but I have, I check my timeline, I have hundreds of mentions, and I'm like, by the time I try to get to them all, there's a couple hundred more, and it's just been crazy, but I've been hearing a lot of good things, a lot of good feedback. You get those haters every once in a while, but for the most part, I'm enjoying the show, and I think that the fans are enjoying the show, and I don't like watching myself on TV, so that's weird, but sometimes I'm like, should I watch tonight? I guess I'll watch it.
Gotta go watch it. For you, like I said though, you've always embraced that limelight. Has it been easier for you dealing with it than you feel like maybe seeing some of the other girls? Maybe they struggled a little more with it.
No, actually, I think it's actually harder for me because I'm expected to be the one that's going to be promoting the show and the one that's going to be out there the most. And because I'm out there the most and I'm getting a lot of attention from the show, most of it's positive. Again, like 90–95% of it is positive, but then it's like, I also get more negative feedback than any of the other girls. There's some girls that I haven't even seen on the show yet. I'm like, why have I not seen them on the show? So I enjoy, all the promotional stuff and whatnot, but sometimes you're just not on point, and I've been going nonstop, like just doing interview after interview and traveling so much, and it gets tiring, but I know that it's part of my job, and I think that because I've always embraced that and understood that, it probably will be something that some of the girls maybe have a hard time with because they feel like people don't realize that, we're entertainers as well. And especially working for a big company like the UFC, then you better be putting seats, putting people in the seats. And so I like I said, I enjoy it and I understand that it's a part of the business, but I think some of the girls think, oh, I should just be fighting. My fighting should speak for itself. And it's like, yes, you have to be able to, whatever you're doing, you have to be able to back it up. But
promotional as well. Yes. Some of the girls don't get along, let's say, I'm sure, in the show, but you guys do have a common thing in that you've all been working very hard at this for so long. So how satisfying is it now to have the limelight on the women and your weight class, not only on 35s, which really got brought up with Ronda, but now you guys?
The UFC adding the strawweight division, I mean, nobody really knew it was coming. Like Dana White kind of sideswiped us with it, but I do believe that the strawweight division is going to be the most exciting division in the UFC. I follow women's MMA, so I follow all the the fights and the divisions, and I think that 115 is the most stacked division. There's not just going to be, like one Ronda Rousey, like one dominant fighter.
Kind of like the lightweight division in the male. There's just more of a pool to choose from.
Yeah, and a lot of it too. It's always style makes fights, and I'm just really excited. I forgot the question already. I always do that. I always forget the questions.
You can talk. That's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. You had a birthday. We were hanging out at Dre's just the other night. Can't believe it. You're actually 30 years old. That's unreal.
I know, it's a really big birthday. And usually the Olympias falls next week, like on the 25th, 26th. But I got to enjoy my birthday here in Vegas. I had my Team All-Max. They brought me out. They had a nice dinner for me, and then we all celebrated. I had a party at Dre's. And it was great. I don't feel 30. I hope I don't look 30. Please tell me I don't look 30. Don't tell me I look 30. But
I thought you were going to say 24 when I asked you. I didn't even know that.
I wish I was 24. That's the thing too. Sorry, I just spit. It was great timing for the UFC to add our division because I've been fighting for 12 years now, and I was kind of getting burnt out. It's like how much longer can you do this with not really like such big rewards? I've always done it because I love it, but there comes a time where there's got to be some kind of payoff, and so I'm not at the end of my career. There was a time where I was thinking, oh, maybe I should just be done with this, but then Dana White giving me the call saying that he was adding my division and that I was going to be on The Ultimate Fighter definitely relit my fire a little bit.
Yeah, it's got to reinvigorate you a little bit towards the goal here.
Yeah, it's crazy because I've been fighting for so long, trying to get noticed, trying to have people like watch my fights, and you get burnt out after a while. And you feel like you're getting older. I just turned 30. I can only. By the time I'm actually on the big stage, will I be done? Will I be done fighting? Will I be burnt out? And when Dana White gave me the call, when he called me, I didn't want to do a reality show. I did not want to do it. But the fact that I'm in the UFC and going to be on a show, it reinvigorated me. It got me excited. It got me motivated. It gave me a new goal to look forward to. I felt like I was kind of stagnant there for a while.
What was your reasoning behind not really being interested in it at first?
I've already been on a reality show. I was on Fight Girls 7 years ago on the Oxygen channel. It was a Muay Thai show. I just know how catty girls are, and I think because I've been in the sport for so long, you have your routines, and I like my alone time. I don't necessarily want to be stuck in a house with a bunch of 16 girls. Not being on somebody else's schedule, being away from my home, my family, my team, my coaches.
At this point, you feel like the fight is what's important. You don't need to go through all that.
Yeah, and the struggles, it's just, there's so many struggles leading up to a fight that every little bit of comfort helps, and there's no comfort on this show. And I just didn't want to be involved in the drama, especially because I was one of the more well-known girls going into the show, and so I kind of have a target on my back. A lot of girls like to hate on me. A lot of people in the press, a lot of people I just feel like to hate on me because I'm, not controversial. People, no matter what I do, I'm always getting judged for it, and I already knew going into the show, a lot of the girls were going to have an attitude with me and, or want to start drama with me because they think if I talk about Felice, then, I think people just prejudge me a lot, and I just didn't want to.
Part of the game about being outspoken, I guess. You get to say what you want to feel, but you got to deal with some of the other repercussions.
Yeah, I don't really I guess I'm outspoken. I'm just me. I'm myself, and I think sometimes people, they look at me and they judge me because they think I'm trying too hard, but I'm not really trying at all. I'm just being who I really am, and maybe a lot of people can't handle that. I'm a unique person. There's not a whole lot of people like me out there, and so I guess just because I'm different, I guess that's why people maybe judge me. I don't know.
We've seen 2 fights so far. We had a big upset week 1. And a very good competitive fight week 2 with another one of the top picks. Safe to say there's some parity going on here. Talk to us about the surprise of Tecia losing, I guess, first.
Yeah, Tecia Torres was actually one of the fan favorites going into the show to win the Ultimate Fighter, and it was a big upset. She lost to Randa Marcos, who was kind of unknown. I didn't know who Randa Marcos was, when I got into the show. And then the second fight was Joanne Calderwood and Emily Keegan, and it was pretty competitive. It's interesting to see how things would go if it was actually a real fight with 3 rounds. But that fight was great. Emily held her own. JoJo ended up coming out with the win. But so far there's only been 2 fights on the season. But me being in the house, there were so many great matchups and there were so many great fights, and I'm excited to see it all unfold, because when you're there, there's the cameramen are in your way, and there's this big bar, you don't have a big screen, and I actually got to see things. I remember watching the Tecia fight and the Randa fight when I was in the house, and I was like, oh my gosh, it was such a boring fight. And then when I watched it on TV, I'm like, oh, that wasn't a boring fight at all. But it's just when you're there, you can't see everything. You can't see.
It's especially exciting because you're watching a big upset unfold in front of your eyes. You're like, wow, she's doing it, and you're expecting Tecia to kind of make something happen, and it wasn't happening.
Well, and it changed the whole course of the show because I was on Team Pettis and Randa was on my team, so we got control over the next fight. And then also,
I know we can't talk about anything future, but what can you tell us about the ranking system? Because I thought that wasn't explained well. All of a sudden there were the matchups by ranking, so you're matched up against somebody. How will it work if you can moving forward with the rankings? How does it work? You have choice of when people fight. It's just kind of weird.
Right. So basically the way it is they seeded us. So it's a tournament style. So number 1 fights number 16, number 2 fights number 15, 3 fights 14. So basically, Then
a full bracket all the way through.
It's all the way through. It's a full bracket. So then it's after like the prelims, it's whoever wins this fight then is gonna fight the winner of this fight, and so
Full bracket system, no reseeding like hockey would.
no, it's completely all just bracketing.
Cool. I didn't explain that well. I just was curious about that. Well, cool. Anything else you want to say? We're obviously looking forward to week 3, Fox Sports 1.
No, just keep continuing to watch The Ultimate Fighter. It only gets better. Every Wednesday, Fox Sports 1 at 9 o'clock, I think. But it's great, and follow me on Instagram and Twitter and on all that good stuff. It's just my name, Felice Herrig. I'm glad I have such an uncommon name because it's so easy to find me.
Yes, and she is anything but common. Felice Herrig, I'm Spencer Lazar. Keep watching The Ultimate Fighter.
Hey, this is Ariane Celeste.
This is Uriah Faber, UFC lightweight champ Anthony Showtime Pettis.
This is Dan Henderson. You're watching MMA Interviews.
MMA interviews.
You're watching MMAinterviews.tv.